We have a motion made and seconded to approve the minutes of August 28, 2024. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. On to contracts and agreements. Action item number 2, Browning Day and City of Westfield, Downtown Redevelopment Plan.
Thank you. So similar to the comprehensive plan contract, we had a review committee of internal staff that exclusively selected certain firms to be evaluated and considered for the downtown's redevelopment. And we have selected Browning Day, and they themselves are selecting a couple sub-consultants to work with them, HWC Engineering and Skinder Construction. They'll be sub-consulting out as well. So this is our finalized contract that we've worked with them. Happy to answer any questions you may have.
Could you broadly describe the timeline of the plan and what your goal is for it?
Yeah, so a typical timeline for this that we proposed was 6 to 9 months. So they are erring on the 8 to 9 month timeline for project completion.
Perfect. And what's the result at the end of it that you're looking to do for the city?
The result is going to be a plan that's specific to downtown and how it redevelops, with possible action items, policies, design themes, a guidebook essentially for how we can redevelop downtown.
Love it. Very much needed.
I agree with what you said. With that, if there's no further discussion, I will make a motion to approve action item number 2, Browning Day and City Westfield Downtown Redevelopment Plan.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve action item number 2 is stated for the record. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Good to see you. On to action item number 3, conflict of interest disclosure statement, James Roberts.
That better? Yeah. We'd like to have a conflict of interest disclosure approved by the board for Lieutenant Jason Curry. He works for a vendor that sells fire equipment, and they have interest in selling fire equipment to the city of Westfield.
And I'll just add that the law just says that it has to be accepted by the board, so I guess if you all see fit, the motion would just be to accept the conflict of interest statement.
But you've obviously reviewed it already and found it consistent with Indiana code and everything.
It's just a standard form, and so we did briefly discuss it, and I've skimmed it, and that is exactly what is supposed to be done here.
Familiar with the process, so if council is good, I'm good with it. Any further discussion?
None here. I agree.
All right. Then I will make a motion to approve action item number 3, conflict of interest disclosure statement, James Roberts.
Second.
Have a motion made and seconded to approve action item number 3 as stated for the record. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Thank you.
Motion carries. On to action item number 4, signing authority, 151st Street Town Road Drainage Project.
Yeah, for the record, Michael Pierce, City Engineer, City of Westfield. This is a signing authority for a proposed drainage improvement project at 151st and Town Road on the northwest corner of the site. Currently, it's kind of a low-lying area that has some drainage issues out there. With this project, we'd be adding a couple drainage structures and about 180 feet of pipe through that section and tie that into the Kimblewick Pond just there to the northwest. So this will help alleviate some of the drainage out there, as well as provide a positive outlet for our roundabout project at this intersection. That'll be under construction next spring. So we're hoping to get this work done in advance of that, so there's a positive outlet for when that roundabout's under construction next year. So we'd ask to approve the signing authority, assuming that our quotes come in, which are due on Friday, will be under 5% over the engineer's estimate. So we obviously don't want to disclose what we think the project would cost, assuming we can get some better quotes on that. So that's the reason for the language in the signing authority. So that kind of mimics state statute for awarding projects. So that's the reason for the language in there. So we'd ask you to approve that signing authority so we can get started on the project.
I live over there. It's very much needed. Always underwater. Sounds great to me.
And of course, you guys have done your due diligence on the pond that we're gonna dump the water into. It has the capacity with collection from the neighborhood and whatnot, and that's not gonna be a secondary problem.
Correct, yeah. We worked with the engineer when this project, the roundabout project's the design's going back probably 5 or 6 years at this point. And that actually kind of even preceded Kimballwick's construction, so we worked pretty closely with them during their design.
Any other discussion?
None more from me.
Hearing none, I'll make a motion to approve action item number 4, signing authority 151st Street and Town Road Drainage Project.
And I'll second.
I have a motion made and seconded to approve action item number 4 as stated for the record. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. On to action item number 5, signing authority South Ridge Drainage Improvements.
For the record, West Rood Stormwater Coordinator, City of Westfield. If you recall, a few months ago, we approved a contract with Christopher Burke Engineering to design some plans for the South Ridge neighborhood, specifically South Ridge Court, to resolve some ongoing flooding issues. We have received our engineer's estimate for that, and we're in the process of bidding, provided we could get a signing authority for that, as we are currently, again, still under bidding. So we've wrapped up those plans. We feel confident that we can resolve this issue, and again, seeking approval.
And I'll just add, if you're wondering why we're asking for signing authority versus collecting the bids, opening them, and then coming back to you for an award, it's that really we're pretty late in the year at this point. We don't want to waste a couple weeks' time for the next Board of Public Works meeting. We'd rather have the authority to sign it as soon as we're able to open, and so that we can get a notice to proceed to that contractor as quickly as possible to get it done as fast as possible.
Yeah, we've done this many times.
Yep, I
Many
just wanted
times
to make sure
before,
on the
so-
record, if you guys were wondering
Right.
why that was the case, that's why.
Makes sense to me.
If there's no further discussion, I make a motion to approve action item number 5, signing authority South Ridge Drainage Improvements.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve action item number 5 as stated for the record. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. On to action item number 6, DB Quinn Construction City of Westfield Road Impact Fee Installment Agreement.
Yes, Michael Pierce again, City Westfield. This is just our standard installment agreement for road impact fees. Per state statute, there's allowed to stretch those fees out over 5 years with an interest rate that mimics kind of the current interest rate on the market. So this is a 6% interest rate on here. This is for a office building project on Enterprise Drive in Westfield that's proposing to start construction here soon. So just ask that you approve this installment agreement so they can stretch their payments out over 5 years.
It's a shame that the interest rate has to be 6%, isn't it? But other than that, I'm just an observation. Any discussion, Nick?
None from me.
Hearing none, I'll make a motion to approve action item number 6, DB Queen Construction City of Westfield Road Impact Fee Installment Agreement.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve action item number 6 as stated for the record. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. On to change order category, action item number 8, Simon Moon Phase 1 Construction Change Order PCI-014.
Good afternoon, Chris McConnell, Parks and Recreation Director for the city. The change order before you is for additional dirt for the Simon Moon project. Due to several different factors, it has been determined that we're short both fill dirt as well as pulverized topsoil, And in order to keep the project on track, we are asking for the additional amount to pay for that additional dirt. We are working diligently to find as much free dirt as we can, but this change order will allow us to continue the project and keep it on track.
What percentage off was that in the calculations, do you think? If you had to guess, not an exact.
I can tell you that the cubic yardage that it was off about a total of 15,000 cubic yards of fill dirt and roughly, hold on, let me find it, and about 2,100 cubic yards of topsoil. On that site, that's not, I know it sounds like a lot, but it's not a tremendous amount.
Perfect.
You go ahead and see that project finish. It's going to be very nice when it's done. So
Yeah, we're really excited about it, and it's moving forward, and we want to get it done so we can have it opened by November. That's our timetable for phase 1. So we're really excited about it.
That's
I'm
exciting.
excited too. I remember we were removing sludge from the ponds.
Yeah.
So back in the day. So
Yep.
this is the other end that we've all been waiting for.
Absolutely.
Anything else, Nick?
Nothing else from me.
All right. No further discussion. I will make a motion to approve action item number 8, Simon Moon Phase 1 construction change order PCI-014.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve action item number 8 as stated for the record. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. On to action item number 9, 2024 resurfacing project change order.
Michael Pierce, City Westfield again. So I know a lot of times change orders kind of get a negative connotation in the construction world. This is one I guess I would consider to be more of a positive because we're actually adding some scope to our project and using money that's already within our budget to do this. So because when we originally let this contract back in, I believe it was about March or April, our number from the contractor came in less than our budget and less than our engineer's estimate. So we had some excess funds within our budget. We wanted to complete most of that work on the contract before issuing this, so we make sure we didn't have any unexpected major change orders on there. Most of that work is now complete, minus the work in Centennial neighborhood, which should be starting next week. So we feel comfortable with moving forward to add some street store resurfacing program. Those are noted on these maps, as you can see on this as we go down. So there's a stretch of 161st, just west of Oak Road, another section that's pretty deteriorated on 161st near Viking Meadows, a large patch that we've received many complaints about near Horton and 191st, and then a section of Park Street in front of the new library where we've had some significant utility cuts that have kind of scarred up the pavement out there. So we would ask for a change order at $150,431.90 to Baumgartner Construction to add those to our program. Those would still be done yet this year. And as I said before, we already have the money within our budget to cover this. We're just adding it to the contract through here.
Yeah, just to reiterate, it's the bids came in under the estimate, and so we're getting bonus resurfacing work out of the contractor as a result, which is a good thing for our taxpayers in our city.
Great news. No issue from me.
No, this is what I like to hear on a change order. Good job, yeah. Any further discussion, Nick?
None here?
All right. No further discussion. I'll make a motion to approve action item number 9, 2024 resurfacing project change order.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve action item number 9 as stated for the record. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. On to action item number 10, resolution 24-148, disposal of primary duty weapon by Bobby Gorell.
Good afternoon. For the record, Scott Jordan, Assistant Chief of Police. Today, through Resolution 24-148, I'm seeking to dispose of and transfer property of the city to an officer that's retiring. It would be her primary duty weapon in recognition of 36-plus years of full-time service to the city of Westfield. The resolution has been vetted through legal and is aligned with both state law and our general orders. And if approved, we would be transferring this to Lieutenant Gurrell next week at a retirement ceremony. Willing to answer any questions that you would have.
No, this is great. And want to thank Lieutenant Grell for her years of service to the city, and appreciate everything.
Yeah, I could not be more in favor of it than what I am. I think that we should do this, and I think it's a show of respect, and certainly am in favor of it. Yep. With that, I will make a motion to approve action item number 10, disposal of primary duty weapon to Bobby Gurrell.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve action item number 10 as stated for the record. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks, Chief. With that, I will make a motion to approve the consent agenda as stated for the record.
And I'll second.
Motion made and seconded to approve the consent agenda as stated for the record. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. On to department reports, and as always, first up is fire. Chief Gaylor.
Calls per day. Turnout time was a minute and 17 seconds on the average, total of 1,035 apparatus responses. 85 of our runs were to extended care facilities. But more importantly, I want to just hit a couple highlights and some things that we have done, and just make note to the board that we've got 2 members that are currently deployed with Indiana Task Force 1 for hurricane. Just like to ask to keep them and their families in your thoughts and prayers, as you never know what's going to happen with the deployment. The other thing is, before our next meeting, October the 2nd, we're going to do a dedication ceremony or a push-in wet down of our tractor drone aerial device. So wanted to get that out there to the group and let you know that we're pushing for October the 2nd, and would love to see you folks in attendance for the first tiller that the fire department has had. Other than that, I'd be happy to answer any questions that you folks have.
What time is it at?
Oh, you're going to stress my memory here. 9 o'clock? Yeah, 9 o'clock in the morning.
Thank you.
Certainly appreciate the invite. Not sure if I'll be able to make it, but I will certainly try. It's going to be very, very big deal.
It is, and just for some clarification, there's always some questions, especially in certain times and fashions, especially social media, that we're trying to compete with the Joneses, so to speak, and that is not in fact the case. A tractor drone aerial device gives us some flexibility and the capabilities that with our standard option that we have now, there are streets that we can't go down and alleys that we can't get into, and so it being a toolbox on wheels and hinges in the middle allows us to do things that we couldn't do prior to getting it. And so it was delivered in July, but we have had extensive training. We have 18 operators on the organization for that truck, which covers all 3 shifts, 24/7, 365. And that training takes some time to do, and everybody's done, so we're mounting the equipment and cleaning it up last once over before we christen it for service here next week.
Sounds good. Ignore the naysayers. It just I swear the negativity on social media just makes me sick. And as I type my reply to their reply, I delete it before I hit go because I don't want to be part of that. But you guys are doing a great job, and no one wants the fire department or the police to spend any money till their house is on fire, until someone kicks their front door in, and then it's all about 911. But it's just don't let the negativity sway you whatsoever, because you have a lot of positive support, and starting from this chair right here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Amen.
I just had to get that out for the record. Okay, get down off my soapbox here. On to police. Chief Jordan.
Again, for the record, Scott Jordan, Assistant Chief of Police. I won't be going through any stats. I'll just share some information for awareness. We did end up hiring those 3 officers currently in field training. 2 are laterals. 1 needs to go to the academy, and he'll start in January. We plan to hire another officer in the near future that's also a lateral. That will make us fully staffed. We're blessed to say that we're fully staffed, in my opinion. Something to keep your eye on for our 2025 hires, we're going to try to hire them before the end of this year, if possible. With the new merit board coming in, that would delay our hiring up to 9 months for next year. That's because it doesn't take place in roughly April, then we have to still work out legal procedures, things like that. Our processes take a while. So we just announced a new lateral process, so we could be coming to you as early as next month to get approval to hire those lateral officers. Wanted to share that with you. Also, likely next month, we will bring forward an Axon contract for your consideration. Axon provides all of our fleet cameras and body-worn cameras. We're at the end of our five-year contract, so we need to enter into a new 5-year contract. That's going to be roughly a $2.5 million contract, which will give all of our officers the newest hardware for their body cams, as well as the newest fleet cameras, which will also have a flock integrated plate reader system as well. Just want to give you a heads up that that's coming through. Currently working with legal and informatics to make sure that we have those bases covered as well. Happy to answer any questions that you would have.
Years ago when I was at DHS, my memory of those systems was that the storage was the biggest cost. Is that still the case, and is that still where a lot of the contract goes?
It largely is. Under the new contract, we'll have unlimited storage for both fleet and the body cams, but it all will be in the cloud.
Awesome.
Okay? So plan to bring that to you next month.
Sounds good. I continue to be a big fan of the body cams, and I think that's as much of a benefit to the officer, if not more, than what it is to the public in some cases, because it tells the true story that actually happened. And that doesn't always get told, especially in social media and in the news. As far as the lateral hires go, I'm in favor of that as well, because I know how much time and money it saves the department, how much faster we can get the officers actually out on the street to protect us. And I know there's been some negativity on that as of late as well. And again, I say that you have my full support, and you guys are going the right way and doing the right thing.
I appreciate that. We're really blessed to have the benefits and also a lateral package that allows officers to transfer in. So we're able to attract really good candidates.
Yeah, and the merit board vote is coming up in early October, right?
Yes, next week.
Yeah, next week. Wow.
Is that a part of the city status change? Is that where that's coming from?
I'm sorry?
The class of city that we're going to, is that the cause for the merit board, or is that completely separate?
No, that's not related, but there actually is a newer law that says cities of a certain size, definitely including us, including a lot smaller cities, would automatically go to merit on January 1 unless the council voted no and the police force voted no. So it's not really related to the size of city, but it is related to a new law, and we're just kind of getting ahead of it and controlling it on our own instead of going into that automatically.
Makes sense, and we're getting ahead of it while we have the people to recruit.
Anything else for the chief?
Nothing for me.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, gentlemen.
And we'll wrap it up with Public Works, Mr. Nail.
Yeah, so our Tomlinson Road widening project is well underway. We are on track for completion at the end of October for that project. We've gotten a couple of resident complaints in the area, just the inconvenience of the closure for that work. I do want to thank Chief Jordan and the police department for their help on some enforcement up there. There's been some folks that have ignored the closure signs and driven around barricades and stuff like that, which unfortunately happens from time to time, but I want to thank the police for their help on that enforcement, and the contractor is on track to get that done in the end of October completion date on that contract. We did open up Westfield Boulevard at Union Street. It's been about a month ago, so I can't remember. It might have been right around the time of our last meeting. So it's good to have that movement back open. I know there's been some questions about the T intersection. Just as a reminder to the board, we are in design for the extension of Westfield Boulevard to the north. So going from 116, or going from Lantern Commons, where it currently terminates, up to 169th Street, with a potential roundabout on 169th and Westfield Boulevard. So hopeful that T condition that we have right now, although it may be a little inconvenient for the short term, the long-term plan is that Westfield Boulevard is the main arterial going up into downtown, and we de-emphasize traffic on Union Street, make it a little more pedestrian-friendly, keep speeds down, and so forth. So that's the reason for why that intersection is configured the way it is. I just wanted to make sure that was out there for those that may be listening to the meeting. Our street department was able to complete demolition on 2 properties on Park Street, just east of Westfield Boulevard. They are out there today and will be for the rest of the week doing some grading work. We are going to be building 2 temporary construction lots on either side of Parkway Circle to provide additional parking in the downtown area. So there'll be grading work going on through this week. We'll be doing gravel and milling compaction to create those parking lots on Park Street. We're hopeful to have those open by October 7th, although some of the rain this week's maybe slowed us down a bit, but not a lot we can do about Mother Nature, unfortunately. And then lastly, the 32 project in downtown, that bid opening is on October 9th. So for our October meeting, I'm hopeful to have some positive bid results for that project. And although that will be awarded through NDOT's system, I'll update the board on the results of that bid opening. It's exciting that we're finally getting to a bidding for that project. It's been a long time coming, and excited for the results. We've had contractor questions coming in for clarification on some of the contract documents and plans, which is always a good sign because that means a lot of contractors are looking at the plans and contemplating bidding. So we'll certainly keep our fingers crossed for a positive result there, and I will update you next month on that project. Any questions?
All right, if there's no further discussion, I will make a motion to adjourn. Second. Motion's been made and seconded to adjourn the City of Westfield, Indiana Board of Public Works and Safety meeting for September 25th, 2024. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Meeting adjourned. Thank you.